a go-ahead three-pointer with 57.5 seconds left in double overtime as Toronto Raptors held on to beat the Boston Celtics 125-122. And that's last night to force a Game 7 in their Eastern Conference semi-final series. Now, Norman Powell completed a three-point play for a 4-point lead with 38.8 ticks remaining and added the two more from the line in the final 5 seconds as Toronto held off a late Boston push. Now, Game 7 will take place in the early hours of Saturday. That's Saturday morning, about 2 a.m. And the winner will advance to face Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference finals. The game leaders, Kyle Lowry had a good game for Toronto Raptors yesterday. Same with Fred VanVleet. He had the most assists for his team, and OG Anunoby with the assist. And for Boston Celtics, it was Jaylen Brown who led with the points. He scored 31 points. The series is tied at 3-3 at this point. It means Game 7, anything can happen. Ferromani Wega, good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning to you, Blessing. Good morning to Faith. And of course, to our wonderful listener out there. Always good to be here again to talk sports. Well, you've started on a very, very exciting one right there in the world of NBA. It's been a very, very exciting games right from the Eastern Conference to the, or Western Conference. And of course, before I even talk about that game, just yesterday, let me say 2 days ago, one team is actually confirmed in the finals, talking about Miami Heat. They actually did that against, Milwaukee Bucks that we are all tipping that they might actually go for. But then, they were stopped by a very, very defensive and compact, Miami Heat right there. This is a team that was actually seeded fifth into going into the playoff. And, against all odds, these guys, they actually destroyed all barriers and they are here at this point in time. Well, maybe they might do another Toronto Raptors this season. It's actually left to be seen right there from Miami Heat. But then I think, they've actually had a very fantastic season for themselves this time around. But talking about this, yesterday's game, Toronto Raptors against Boston Celtics, it was a very difficult game. It's always going to be a difficult game because if there is any team Toronto Raptors have actually found difficult to defeat this season, it's definitely the Celtics. Even in the regular season, they found it difficult to defeat them in the bubble as well. When the playoffs, when the games restarted in the bubble, they also found it difficult to defeat them. And this time around, they are struggling. And of course, it might just be, decided in the Game 7 right there. And anything can happen this time around because Boston Celtics also want to get themselves into the finals. And of course, Toronto Raptors, they will be looking to actually, think they can actually defend their title in which they actually won last season. But then I think, is packing up to be a very exciting, Game 7 right there between Celtics and Toronto Raptors.
And to think that Raptors didn't exactly start very well.
Yeah, definitely.
They had to
come back from 2 games down. Exactly. I think I said earlier last week that if there is any team that can do a comeback, it's definitely Raptors. They also did the same against Milwaukee Bucks, the same Milwaukee Bucks last season. They were 2 games down and they, rallied back and they actually won that series 4-2 in that particular one. So I think, it's just that winning mentality that is there for me. They've been in this kind of situation before. They've been in this, they've been under this kind of pressure before and they know how to actually undo it. And that is why they're actually getting this win this time around. I'm talking about the second game, Denver Nuggets against Clippers as well. Clippers actually did the needful against
Western Conference.
Yeah, definitely Western Conference final games 4 right there. I think, it's just what it is. Clippers have been this kind of formidable team, so to say. This is not a one-man team. They've been able to share the score amongst themselves. They've been able to, defend, massively and of course try as much as possible to actually net, their opponents, and that is what is actually helping them at this time around against Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets have been, they've had a very, decent season right from the regular season. I think they finished third in the Western Conference, qualifying to the playoffs. And this time around, I think, Clippers will be actually doing this one this time around. And I think they will actually be going far in this particular one. Kawhi Leonard with 30 points and 11 rebounds. And of course, for Nuggets, Nikola Jovic with 26 points, 11 rebounds and 6 assists.
Okay, you can find us on Facebook. Go on Splash FM, search for Splash FM, Splash FM 105.5 about on Facebook. You see us streaming live there. It is Sports Bang this morning. Let's move on to tennis now. The US Open 2020, where Serena Williams kept her hopes alive of a record-equaling 24th Grand Slam singles title with a 4-6, 6-3, 6-2 victory over Svetlana Pironkova in the US Open quarterfinals. The American six-time champion at 38 struggled early on with a variety of shots from the unranked player who was in her first tournament in 3 years. Williams said she could not afford another sluggish start if she's to reach her 5th Grand Slam final in 3 years. Meanwhile, unseeded Belarus and Victoria Azarenka reached clinched her first Grand Slam semi-final since 2013 with a 6-1, 6-love victory over Belgian 16 seed Elise Mertens. The two-time Australian Open winner has endured difficulties on and off the court since returning to play after giving birth to her son Leo in 2016. But then yesterday she took advantage of that very, very awful display by Mertens, breaking her opponent 6 times in total to complete a stunning victory in only 73 minutes. And now she's up against her old foe Serena Williams, who she has met 22 times and has only been able to beat 4 times. Faith, good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning to you, Blessing. Good morning, Feromi. Good morning to our revered listeners. Just like someone was telling me yesterday that every morning is not complete without a cup of sports band. And that is what we're already doing this morning. And our sports will continue to give us so many things, so many exciting moments. Just like you started off in the world of basketball, that double overtime in that game between Boston Celtics and Toronto Raptors kept us all on the edge of our seats. And they did justice to that to take it into the 7th game of that series, and now into the world of tennis as well. It also kept us on the edge of our seats. It was a battle between 2 mothers yesterday. For Pironkova, she left the game since 2017. 2018, she gave birth and all that. I remember the Wimbledon in 2017. I think that was the last time she participated at a Grand Slam competition, and she lost to Caroline Wozniacki over that time before she went. She got pregnant. She was also injured and all that.
The legal battle for her son.
For her son as well, and all those things. But she has been able to come back, and for her to go this far, we'll say, and for her to especially push Serena Williams yesterday. She won the first set. It had to take maybe the stuff of champion or the stuff of legend from Serena Williams for her to be able to rally back. She won the second set and ultimately won the deciding set in that game yesterday. But ultimately the match to the Big 24 continues for Serena Williams. We're all scared of a shocker or a shocking one yesterday. We're seeing that together after Just Football yesterday. So we're all very scared, but good one for Serena Williams. She has been able to progress, and now she'll be coming up against Victoria Azarenka. Well, I don't know what to say of that. Some have said Azarenka is a rival, but same
thing they said about
Sharapova. But the record, the stats. They always say stats don't care about your feelings, and I think the stats and the records don't agree with that. She has a domineering record over her, and maybe that will continue this time around. But Azarenka has been very, very good this time out, and she'll be hoping to give us a very, very good game. But I hope Serena will try to do justice as quickly as possible, because if it goes
into slow starter, all her games,
if it goes into the 3rd set, well, she might win, but I'm looking at the final. Fatigue might begin to set in. She has been stretched in almost all her games, and at 38 now, with all the balls and the pressure surrounding her, I'm not sure. There's a way you can buckle at those very, very defining moments, and it could come up against her. So she should try to do justice to Azarenka as quickly as possible. But I will expect a tough game. Azarenka in her own right, maybe in recent times she has not done so well. She's not been at this stage for about 7 years now, since 2013. But you understand that, well, whenever she's still on top of her game, she's still one of those very few, one of those elite few that can actually give Serena Williams a very, very tough time on the court. So we hope to see how it goes in the US Open, and it continues to give us that exciting moment, and we'll continue to follow it.
And of course, Serena is on course to face Naomi Osaka in the finals. That's if both players make it to the final. Osaka as well, she has a semi-final tie against Jennifer Brady. I think that's tomorrow. She seems to have a very easy on our own side of the draw. Not so much of big names there, but hey, it's not her fault that she has it that easy. But waiting to see if both of them will eventually meet in the final, sparking up a rematch of what we saw in the US Open just 2 years ago. And in the men's category here, Daniil Medvedev shrugged off an injury scare to beat Andrei Rublev in straight set, and also book his place in the US Open semi-finals against Dominic Thiem. The 2019 runner-up required treatment on a shoulder injury and cramp midway through the 3rd set, but then he managed to wrap up a 7 7-6, 6-3, 7-6 victory, while TM also rode past young Australian De Minaur to move another step closer to a maiden Grand Slam title. Remember, the US Open men's category would see us crown a new champion for the first time, because there is no Novak Djokovic who defaulted, and there's no Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, no Stanislas Wawrinka, and Andy Murray as well has been knocked out. That's it, the update there from the US Open. They're in Flushing Meadow. And straight to Formula One. Faith, Sergio Perez, we announced yesterday that he's going to leave Racing Point at the end of the year, and then Sebastian Vettel to replace him. I don't know how I feel about that. Sebastian Vettel to Racing Point. Although Racing Point is going to change name to Aston Martin in 2021, but Vettel to Racing Point?
Yeah, Vettel to Racing Point, or to Aston Martin, as the case may be. I think it's a very, very good one, especially for the other driver in Lance Stroll, who is old. He's quite young. He would have the big figure of Sebastian Vettel to actually maybe give him that tutelage, or to show him how it's done. When you have a big figure, a big name, a former champion, a former, you say a serial winner. Maybe he has not been winning in recent times, but you understand that he still remains a champion in his own right. And for a particular Lance Stroll, who has maybe only about 2 podium finishes, he has never won any race. It would give him that exemplary figure. It would give him that big character. I think for Racing Point, it's a very good one that they probably will be getting a big name in Vettel. And what with recent happenings in Ferrari, maybe we cannot entirely blame the misfortunes that Vettel has suffered in recent times to Vettel alone. You understand that Ferrari has really struggled this year. I think they are having their worst season in 10 years. This year they've been very woeful. And for a young Charles Leclerc over there, who is also unfortunate to be in that kind of situation. So maybe when Vettel gets a fresh start, sometimes a breath of fresh air gives you new energy, renewed. You have a renewed, I'll say maybe strength and all motivation and all that, which will come up good. So, but maybe it will be a good one. But I'm surprised that Perez will be leaving right now, because he signed a new contract in 2019, a 3-year contract to 2022. But when they're looking at bringing in a bigger name, they just have to let him go. I hope he would get another team that would maybe help his upward spiral, because I remember him at that Ferrari Academy in 2012 as well, and he has been having a steady rise, maybe not as meteoric as we would have expected, but he's had a steady rise. I hope this will not dampen his morale, and then he would have a downward spiral.
Okay, well, for Perez, he says it hurts a bit as I bet on the team during very rough times, and then he's been linked with both the Ace team and the Alfa Romeo teams in recent weeks. We're waiting to see where we go eventually, but like Faith said, he has to be careful not to go on a downward spiral from there onward. Let's move on to football now. A bit of transfer gist here regarding one of our own, Ogene Karoetebo. It has been announced that he has joined Galatasaray, and says he's delighted to link up with the Turkish Super League club. Galatasaray will spend the 2020-2021 campaign at Galatasaray after agreeing to join Fatih Terim's side from Stoke City on a 1-year loan deal yesterday. And he says, I'm happy to come to such a big and historic club. I thank our president, our vice president for their warm welcome. I felt at home. See you at the championship at the end of the season. Feromi, our boys are moving to Turkey.
Definitely.
En masse.
Yeah, exactly. You can say that again. And it's looking like that is their, stopping point at this point in time, if they've actually found it difficult to actually get a place right there in other top leagues.
What was it difficult for Etebo in Stoke City? We felt he had a good chance.
Definitely. I felt so too. This is one man that can actually hold his own when it comes to that particular position. He could actually, hold his own and get the needed, attention right there. But then it looks like, it's been very, very difficult for him at this point in time, and he has actually struggled to get that playing time right there at Stoke City. But then I think, you have to, aspire to actually try as much as possible to get exactly, to get a place where you need to continue playing. You know that, if he does not get to play, it will definitely affect his chances in the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Remember, Gennaro has been this, kind of coach that, hey, if you're not getting that regular regular time in your club side, you might not actually get a chance in the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
I think for me, for Etebo, he made a wrong move. That move to Stoke City, I believe, was a wrong move. He rushed that move. We all remember going into the 2018 World Cup. He had a good World Cup, a very, very good World Cup by his standards, but he rushed the move. I think he waited till the end of the World Cup before signing for Stoke City. Maybe he would have gotten a better move. When you go to a struggling side, it's only normal for you to struggle. I didn't expect someone that played for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, that had so many minutes at the World Cup, to go and play in the championship with Stoke City. That was, and you know how our career decisions can be once you make a very wrong
I think
move.
it's all about the excitement, because it feels going into the English, a setup, maybe, a bigger opportunity might come for him to go to the Premier
At this
League.
level, excitement shouldn't drive your decision. You should consider all the metrics. You should take your time. If you're not sure about it, make the right move. But let me not cast the sticks too much now. He's gotten back to Galatasaray. Hopefully, he'll be able to find his way back and back to a bigger team. Galatasaray, they're a big side in Turkey. So I think it would be a good move for him. Hopefully, he would be able to juice this situation and get the best out of it.
Okay, as long as he gets playing time there. Moving on to La Liga. Well, tomorrow's opening match, of the 2020-2021 La Liga Santander season has been pushed back to Saturday. Granada were due to host Athletic Club at the Estadio Nuevo Lo Carreno that's tomorrow, but now it will take place on Saturday at about 8:45 p.m. That's because of a dispute between the Spanish Football Federation and La Liga over the scheduling of league fixtures on weekdays. The competition committee have sided with the Spanish Football Federation, stating that no league games are allowed to be held on Fridays or Monday. And this also means that Alaves game with Real Betis, due to be played on Monday night, will now be held on Sunday afternoon. La Liga season will also start on Saturday, having originally been scheduled to open on Friday night. Okay,
just settle your differences. We want to see.
We just want to see games. Regardless, whenever you decide to put the game, settle your differences. We just want to see games on offer here. Let's join our partners at the BBC for the BBC Premier League update, and we'll talk a bit about this plan about Giorgio Wijnaldum, who is going to have talks with Liverpool about his future.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Andy Barwell at the BBC Sports Centre. The Premier League's chief executive, Richard Masters, has told the BBC that failure to let fans back into grounds will cost clubs around $900 million during the new season, which starts this Saturday. The UK government's plans for spectators to attend sporting events in England from October the 1st are now to be reviewed. The financial situation is reaching a crucial stage for the clubs, according to Masters.
It's absolutely critical, and that's because, like every other industry, football has been impacted by COVID already. As it's common knowledge, we lost circa £700 million from Premier League economy last year. Obviously, there are going to be matches this season without fans inside those stadiums. Further losses are going to be incurred. It can't go on forever. We have to get back to fans inside stadium. That's the big thing that's missing, economic or otherwise. We need fans back inside the stadium for all sorts of reasons, it's the number one priority.
Newcastle United say that they are considering all relevant options after claiming the Premier League didn't act appropriately in its handling of a failed takeover of the club. In July, the group, which included a Saudi Arabian sovereign wealth fund, said it had backed out of the deal. Clarification of the links between the group and the Saudi state were wanted. Newcastle said the Premier League had rejected the bid. And some transfer news. The striker Ollie Watkins has joined Aston Villa for a club record fee of $35 million from the second-tier Championship side Brentford. For more football news on the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Welcome back to Sports Bang on Splash 105.5 FM. Well, for those who have been asking, really, what about Fantasy Premier League for Splash FM this season? Okay, I'm happy to announce that we'll be having a Fantasy Premier League, and feel free to join us. This is the code to join: 0B7BA3. 0B7BA3. The title of our league is Splash 1055. I'll be posting it on my social media handle after the show. You can find me on Twitter at at Blessing Fowowe, Fowowe. I'll be posting this on Twitter the moment we step out of the studio. Remember to join our league 0B7BA3. 0B7BA3. That's the code to join FPL, Splash FM's FPL this season. Giorgio and Adam, guys, getting to talk with Jurgen Klopp about the Liverpool future. Is there a chance, a slim chance, that he could actually find his way into Barcelona?
I think so at this point in time, because this is one man that is highly regarded by the Barcelona, maestro right there, talking about Ronald Koeman. He has actually spoken highly of him, that this is one man I actually need in my squad. And I think that is one reason why Barcelona are actually going for him. If it's actually left to the Barcelona board, I think they would rather actually be going for Thiago Alcantara. But, Ronald Koeman has actually made it clear that Wijnaldum is actually important to him. And, when Ronald Koeman was actually the manager of Netherlands, we saw how he actually, utilized his ability, talking about Wijnaldum. It does not even play, in that kind, in that particular role in blocking and all that. He is much more offensive going forward for the Netherlands team. So I think, that is what he's actually planning to actually, incorporate into that Barcelona team. But then time will tell if if Liverpool are actually willing to actually let him go at this point in time.
Faith, I feel we have been distracted a bit by the Lionel Messi situation. Not to distracted so much that we haven't really seen so much in transfer business from Barcelona.
I think the team has been distracted as well.
They have been doing transfers
anyone
anyway.
would be distracted.
Not just big transfers.
But then,
that's why I said they would be distracted
for Barcelona's
because we would have
those
queried those transfers.
Yes, definitely. But I would say for Wijnaldum, the coach has already talked about the fact that he wants to play him. He's an all-out action midfielder who plays box to box. I'm not sure it fits the Barcelona style of play, but we have a different coach who has brought his own philosophy.
Definitely.
If he says he wants to utilize the player, they should go all out to get whatever he wants for him, so that at the end of the year he will bring his scorecard and you say, well, we got you all what you requested for, just like a particular Frank Lampard with Chelsea. So if you have now fallen short of all the expectations, then we'll be able to make a decision.
Quickly, talking about Barcelona transfers, Trincao, he has actually been brought on board as a right winger. Ronald Araujo is centre back for Barcelona. Pedri, also a left winger.
So you win the Champions League with Pedri.
I'm not saying, I don't care. I'm only talking about the transfers that has actually been made. That's all.
That's why I said we've been distracted. If not, we would have queried, those sort of transfers.
And of course, Amir and Pjanic.
On Saturday, join us on Saturday for World Sport, where we'll take plenty time to discuss what the new season would be like. And of course, like we do every season, the start of every season, it's a tradition, we'll be giving our predictions. So you can hang each and every one of us if our predictions don't work. They'll be predicting their top 4, their top 6, and maybe relegation teams. Of course, the La Liga and the English Premier League as well. The front page of Sporting Sun here, it says October friendlies, Austria may deny Super Eagles entry. Uzor resumes training. SN to coach Danish club. David Alaba serves Bayern quit notice. Okay, that's on the front page of Sporting Sun. Iheanacho, I am hungry for trophies. And Semaya loses appeal against CAS ruling. You can find that on the back page of Sporting Sun. And for Sporting Live here, it says club prepared to use emergency cover. What is that talking about? What does it mean? Page 4 of the Sporting Life newspaper. There you can find it there. Osimhen can be prolific like Alan. Who is speaking? It is Babayaro. And one more. Marseille make 4.5 billion naira Dennis bid. Find all of that on the front page of Sporting Life this morning. Guys, we have to leave. Thanks for being a part of the show. Feromi, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Faith Adedeji, thanks for being here as well. Okay, join us tomorrow at 7:30 for Winning Friday edition of Sports Bang, and on Saturday, World Sport. Remember to use this code to join Splash FM's FPL team 0B7BA3 0B7BA3.
I'll be looking out for your team.
Already, don't worry, you can find it there. Already with my team. So find us. I'll be posting this on Twitter immediately we step out of the studio. Thanks for being a part of the show. My name is Blessing Fowowe. Over.
Always in front, but I see you with my rear view. No, they worry, cause I always got a clear view. Ooh, like a lion, I'm a team.
Splash FM 105.5.
Hi guys, it's your suave radio girl. You're welcome to an informative moment you don't want to miss. Yes.